reversed what we do, obviously not for this year. If we need to know that figure for tax, do you still have to go back and then do it again? Like, would you have to go back to do that information to make that report using what you're doing now? Like if you needed waste and things like that for taxes, do you have to then allocate it and then figure it out from that basis, or will there be another way you can do it?
We have it set up right now with our budget spreadsheets. It's an automatic calculation. It's automatically flowing each time we change something. It's automatically changing it. It's not, I mean, that's the way it's set up now. For me to switch to remove that, I think you need to consider
It's already
this
there. The motion asking for a report to change of direction, so I guess if we could, part of this would be when would this report come back on this, and it could be next August in time for, or July in time for budgeting next year. Deputy Mayor?
Yes, I know Janet had communicated that it was late for this year, and that's fine, but I felt it was still important to have the discussion with council and communicate to you what I collected from my interactions at the other level of government. And so I'm happy to just wait until later in the year when there's a bit more space to have a report for 2014, but I can see the benefit of it, and I hope we can move toward that ultimately.
So would you like to withdraw this motion and bring it back in July, or?
No, I think I just like to say that it can come back in July. Basically, it says it's to prepare a report for the 2014 budget in a comparable format to elected terms.
Well, a report, no. Councilor Russell.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor. We have to consider this motion or reconsider, turn it down, do something, because if we turn it down, yes, withdraw it. I would suggest, Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind on the point of order, I would suggest to the deputy that she withdraw it, then we wouldn't have to go through all that convolution, because I think she's got a good idea here. The question is the timeliness, the practicality, and I think if we go to July, we're going to be in the same bugaboo we are in now. What we have to do is you have to start talking about these things in February and March, so that this dear lady back here who has so much work to do gives us, she's got enough time to prepare. I mean, we can't do it in August. That's not right for the staff.
We'll keep it mindful as we go through our budget process and see what differences it would make, and maybe we can
Some ideas.
decide whether that's.
If you're going to do it, I'd suggest to the
That's
deputy that
fine.
she would
You withdraw the
Sure, I can
motion?
withdraw it and bring it back. to you.
Okay.
Timely.
It's okay with the seconder to withdraw? Absolutely. Okay. Okay, that motion has been withdrawn. And 1113 is a notice of motion of Deputy Mayor Dec that we reconsider the reference sheet for the Grand Bend sewage facility.
Yeah, thank you.
that we
It just,
adopted
it never
at the last
rains, it just doesn't seem to rain in chorus. I usually have so many notices of motion, but things kind of came in together under here. So this is, I suppose that we have to begin by having a.
Do we have a seconder for the
notice
motion before we?
A motion for consideration.
Councilor Russell.
And that motion is with regards to the figures we have in our reference sheet for the Grand Bend sewage treatment facility. And I do appreciate the reference sheet. I just do have a concern that it be very clearly a comparison of apples and apples, so that there's no confusion in the community. There was a statement made that we're getting half the plant for 3/4 of the price, which is not accurate, because figures like this is $1.6 million, which actually arises from the Dillon proposal, is being included in the actual cost of the plant that we have selected, which isn't accurate. We do have to pay that amount, yes, but it's not actually the cost of the plant that we have right now, so that we settled on. So I think that this is the reason for my motion for consideration, so we'll look at that motion first and then call that motion first.
The motion is to reconsider the layout of that report, the line. Councilor Underwood.
I would like to hear from our Director of Community Services the logic of either putting it in or taking it out and putting it in the spot.
Yeah, I guess we better do the reconsideration. Either
Oh,
do
we're
reconsider-
reconsidering first? All right. We can't discuss the,
Data breakdown. We're not reconsidering the numbers or the
Well,
information.
we're changing the sheet.
You just,
that
You want
council
it broken
approved.
out, right? You want it broken out, for sure.
I just want to.
You're not deciding whether or not to get rid of the sheet.
No.
Yeah, we're just,
Can we ask for a new sheet that shows us?
that's what she's saying.
Well, that's what we're reconsidering. The council approved the sheet as it was presented. Council wants to change the sheet on the website. I believe it needs to reconsider how the sheet was presented.
Let's put it in reconsideration.
Whether, that's what the motion is, for the reconsideration. All in favor of the reconsideration, take 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no motion to reconsider. Okay? And new business. There is a notice of from Wayne Fleet. Okay. This is an invitation to council from Township of Wayne Fleet. They're going to host a summit in mid-January, and they would like council to, if you want to attend that summit on the wind energy opposition summit hosted by the township in order to gauge the level of interest and participation. So there's a meeting going on in mid-January. If you want more information or would like to go to it, contact Roberta or contact these people. I'll send them either around. Oh, you all got a copy? Okay, that's just for information then. And we have another new business report from our acting CAO.
Thank you.
And sorry this is coming at the last minute, but it's a short report. And we have some time. Christmas is coming, so I guess I would like, should we have a motion to accept this as an emergent issue? Councillor Bonstein, seconded. Councillor Cook. All in favor of that? Carried. So we have new business. Janet, do you want to speak to this?
Well, in line with the fact, with the discontinuity of Mr. Brown being CAO as acting, I felt it prudent to either fill the position on an interim basis, or, I mean, if council wishes to proceed right to a full replacement, that can be done, but I'm suggesting an interim to allow time to provide an effective search. I contacted some associations to access their database, and of course, there's a lot of questions out there on the term, when it starts, what type of wage grid, those kind of things. So I'm looking for council direction on those items and confirm that you're interested in an interim rather than an immediate replacement.
Okay. Any council discussion? Councillor Underwood?
Do you want a discussion on the motion?
Guess if you want to make a motion.
Well, I'll make a motion that we move towards an interim CAO immediately, and the transition team that we were talking about work with the CAO and towards coming up with some recommendations for you to fulfill that position in January at this point. And then we can, once that happens, we can have another meeting in January, and then we can, once we get an interim CAO, then we can work towards getting a full-time CAO the next couple of months afterwards, and the transition team can work with the interim CAO on how to do that with you and the rest.
So you mentioned the transition team.
Well,
This speaks to the mayor and the deputy mayor in conjunction with the CAO to narrow down the list.
okay, yeah, I imagine they'll be, you guys will be transitioning, right? Do you want another counselor on it?
I don't know that it's necessary. Everything's gonna come back to council, however you want to deal with it. Your motion is that we proceed, try to have something in place by the end of January, whether we can do it sooner than that or as soon as we can. 6 months is what's on here, or negotiable.
6 months seems reasonable, for
Okay.
maximum 6 months.
And we would say on the CAO grid range,